I freeze in the doorway to my parents' backyard, my breath caught somewhere between my lungs and my throat. For a moment I wonder if my eyes are playing tricks on me, if the Texas heat has finally melted something in my brain. But no, that's definitely my work laptop floating face down in the crystal blue water of the pool, sinking slowly toward the bottom. $5,200 of company equipment, client files, weeks of work, all of it drowning, while I stand here paralyzed. Still not going to help me with my investment. Harper's voice slides across the patio, smooth as silk but sharp as a blade. My sister leans against the pool deck railing, arms crossed over her chest, lips curved in a satisfied smirk that makes my stomach clench. She looks exactly like what she is, a woman who's just exacted revenge. What did you do? The words barely escape my mouth. What you made me do, Harper says, running a hand through her perfectly styled hair. When family asks for help, Violet, family should help. Isn't that what Mom always says? 1 week. That's how long it's been since I refused to loan Harper $18,500 for her latest can't-miss business venture, some revolutionary beauty product that was guaranteed to make us both rich. The same promise I've heard with her fashion boutique, her organic juice bar, her custom jewelry line. I think about the business dinner last night, the way my phone kept lighting up with Harper's calls while I was trying to close a deal with a new client. The way she showed up at the restaurant anyway, interrupting with just a quick question about that investment that left my clients exchanging uncomfortable glances. You're being dramatic again, Vi. My mother had said when I complained later, your sister needs support. She's always been more sensitive than you. It's the family pattern established since childhood. Harper needs protection. Violet needs to understand. Harper makes mistakes. Violet needs to forgive. I take a deep breath and walk to the pool, feeling Harper's eyes on me as I kneel at the edge. Without a word, I roll up my sleeve and reach into the water, pulling out my laptop. Water streams from the keyboard, dripping between my fingers as I stand. What's going on out here? My father's voice comes from behind us. My parents appear at the patio door, taking in the scene with confused expressions. Harper's face transforms instantly. Her smirk disappears, replaced by wide eyes and a trembling lower lip. It was an accident. I tripped. She gestures vaguely at the concrete patio. I feel terrible, Vi. You know I'd never. It's just a laptop, Violet, my father says, cutting her off. His tone holds that familiar note of impatience, the one that says I'm overreacting again. Don't make this into something it's not. Count of them. I look down at the ruined machine in my hands. Water drips onto my shoes, creating dark spots on the concrete. My hands should be shaking with anger, but they're surprisingly steady as I hold the destroyed laptop. Something shifts inside me, a quiet click like a lock turning. My mother is already moving toward Harper, her arms sliding around my sister's shoulders. Are you okay, sweetie? Did you hurt yourself when you fell? Harper leans into our mother's embrace, her eyes finding mine over Mom's shoulder. There's no apology in them, just calculation. She thinks she's won. My father sighs, reaching for his wallet. We'll replace it, Violet, though you really should be more careful where you leave your things. I watch this familiar scene unfold, my parents comforting Harper while she plays the victim. The laptop in my hands represents more than just equipment. It's my professional reputation, client data, trust that I've spent years building, all deliberately destroyed because I refused to finance another of Harper's schemes. No, I say quietly, my voice steadier than it's ever been in this house. I don't think you will. My father frowns, confused by my refusal of his money. My mother glances over, still patting Harper's back. What's that, dear? I look at my family, really look at them, and for the first time I see with perfect clarity what I've always known but never fully accepted. They will always choose Harper. They will always excuse her. They will always expect me to do the same. Not anymore. Nothing, I say, turning toward with my dripping laptop. Nothing at all. Next morning the alert chimes on my phone at 6:17 a.m. I'm already awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying yesterday's pool scene. When I check the notification, my stomach drops through the floor. Attempted transfer $8,200 to account ending in $4,732. I recognized the account number immediately. It's Harper's business account, the one she'd scribbled on a napkin at the restaurant, sliding it across the table with that expectant smile, the one I'd refused to send money to. My coffee cup slips from my hand, shattering against the kitchen tile. Brown liquid spreads across the floor like spilled blood, but I barely notice as I frantically tap through to my banking app. The transfer is marked pending review, suspicious activity, a small mercy. The phone rings. It's the fraud department. Miss Winters, we've flagged an unusual transaction on your account. The representative says, did you authorize an $8,200 transfer this morning? No, I whisper. I absolutely did not. The representative's voice turns clinical. We'll need to cancel your cards immediately. There's been a series of attempts. A series? My voice cracks. Yes, this was the fourth attempt since midnight. The previous ones were smaller amounts. She's been trying different sums, looking for the threshold that wouldn't trigger security protocols. After hanging up, I open my laptop, my personal one, not the drowned work computer, and start checking accounts. What I find turns my blood to ice. Harper has somehow added herself as an authorized user on my primary credit card. There are pending charges at high-end boutiques, electronic stores, a day spa. The realization hits me like a physical blow. Harper didn't just destroy my laptop out of spite. She copied my personal data first. The destruction was meant to hide the theft, not cause it. Later that morning, the doorbell rings, startling me. It's a courier with a package from my credit card company. Inside is a replacement card I never requested, sent to my address, but with Harper's name embossed beneath mine. I sink onto my couch, surrounded by digital evidence of invasion. My phone pings continuously with password reset notifications across my accounts, email, cloud storage, investment portfolio. Harper is systematically trying to lock me out of my own life. My laptop screen shows my LinkedIn profile, which now lists me as silent partner at Harper's Glow, the beauty product venture she'd been pushing. My profile picture has been changed to one where I'm standing beside her, both of us smiling. The photo has been edited. We were never together in the original image. On my kitchen counter, my phone lights up with a voicemail notification. Mother's voice fills the apartment. Violet, Harper says you're being difficult about the laptop accident. Why can't you just let it go? You know your sister has always struggled more than you. I close my eyes, breathing through the wave of betrayal. This isn't just Harper being Harper anymore. This isn't her borrowing my clothes without asking or telling embarrassing stories at family gatherings. This is criminal. She's stolen my identity, forged documents, and attempted bank fraud. Opening my email, I find a message sent from my account to my biggest client, a message I never wrote, canceling our contract with immediate effect. The timestamp shows it was sent last night while I slept. The damage spreads beyond my personal life in days to come. My professional reputation, built over years of meticulous work and carefully nurtured relationships, is under attack. Clients who trusted me with their security now question my competence. How could a cybersecurity consultant allow such a breach? I scroll through my contacts, watching in real time as my client list shrinks. 2 cancellations already, with apologetic but firm messages citing security concerns. The financial implications are staggering. Harper now has access to accounts I've built since I was 19, working through college, saving every bonus. My emergency fund, my investment portfolio, my retirement savings, all vulnerable. Beyond money, there's the betrayal itself. My sister, who I drove to job interviews when her car broke down, whose rent I covered when she was between opportunities, whose dreams I supported even when our parents grew skeptical, has weaponized my personal information against me. On Wednesday morning, my phone rings. This time it's the bank's security team. Miss Winters, we've blocked the suspicious transfer and placed a fraud alert on all your accounts. The analyst says the attempts originated from an IP address associated with your parents' home network. This small victory does little to ease the knot in my chest. As I change every password and place security freezes on my credit, I wonder if I should confront Harper directly or quietly gather evidence for more calculated action. The immediate satisfaction of confrontation tempts me, but patience might yield more complete protection. When facing betrayal by someone who's always been protected from consequences, is it better to strike quickly or build an airtight case? I stare at my phone, Harper's contact information glowing on the screen. My finger hovers over the call button. A week later, the email notification chimes on my phone while I'm reviewing client security protocols. I nearly ignore it until I see the sender, Blake Reynolds, CEO of Harmony Technologies, my biggest client. Violet, can we discuss this partnership arrangement with your sister's beauty venture? I was under the impression our contract had exclusivity clauses. My stomach drops as I read the words. I open my laptop and search frantically, finding what I feared. Harper has distributed an investment proposal to my entire professional network, listing me as her business partner and financial guarantor without my knowledge or consent. Within the hour, 3 more clients call. Each conversation follows the same bewildering pattern: confusion about a business venture I've supposedly joined, questions about my commitment to their security needs. With each explanation, my voice grows steadier, colder. I'm sorry for the confusion. I tell Blake my sister has distributed fraudulent information. I'm addressing it immediately. The calls haven't stopped when my phone lights up with my mother's name. I answer, steeling myself. We're having a family meeting tonight about your behavior, she announces without preamble. This persecution of Harper over an accident has gone too far. An accident? The word tastes bitter. She admitted to destroying my laptop deliberately. That's not how she remembers it. My mother's voice has that familiar note of dismissal. Your cousins agree you're being unreasonable. Everyone's concerned about how you're treating your sister when she's struggling to get her business off the ground. Before I can respond, a new email notification appears. My blood runs cold as I read the subject line. Apology to Reynolds Group from Violet Winters. Harper has now started sending emails in my name. I hang up on my mother mid-sentence. The next morning, I discover Harper has accessed my personal cloud storage. She's taken photos from my vacation to Cancun last year, the one luxury trip I've allowed myself in 3 years, and shared them with family members alongside captions suggesting I'm flaunting my wealth while refusing to help family. The timestamp shows she accessed these files yesterday at 3:42 a.m. Sleep becomes a luxury I can no longer afford. Each night, I jolt awake to check my phone, scanning for new security alerts, unexpected account activities. During the day, I spend hours on calls with clients explaining the situation, repairing relationships that took years to build. Your sister sounds like a real piece of work, my colleague Thomas says after I've spent 30 minutes detailing the situation to him. His straightforward assessment is almost refreshing after the family's willful blindness. My mother calls twice to remind me about Sunday dinner. Harper feels terrible about this misunderstanding, she says in her voicemail. You need to come home and work this out like adults. I decline, knowing exactly how that scenario would play out, me cast as the villain while Harper performs contrition. Instead, I spend the weekend methodically documenting every unauthorized access, every forged communication, every attempt to damage my reputation. I create secure folders with timestamps, screenshots, and account records, evidence that can't be dismissed as sibling rivalry or misunderstanding. On Monday afternoon, my phone rings with an unfamiliar number. Violet, it's Mitchell Caldwell. The name takes me a moment to place: a family acquaintance, vice president at Texas Capital Investments. We've met at a few family gatherings over the years. I received your sister's business proposal with your name attached as guarantor, he says, his voice careful. Something felt off about it. I thought you should know she's approaching all the major investors in Dallas with this pitch. His words land like an unexpected gift in the middle of this nightmare, someone seeing through Harper's deception without my prompting. Thank you, I say, and mean it. That evening, my phone lights up with a video call from my mother. I consider ignoring it, but something pushes me to answer. Her face appears on screen, the familiar kitchen visible behind her. I can hear voices in the background, dinner in progress without me. Why are you making your sister's life so hard? My mother's voice carries that signature blend of disappointment and accusation. She made a mistake with your laptop, but you're destroying her chances at success. In clouds, I watch her face, the face that has looked at me with this exact expression countless times throughout my life, always when I failed to accommodate Harper's needs, wishes, or mistakes. I'm tired, Mom. The words come out quietly but with perfect clarity. Violet Catherine Winters, don't you dare hang up on me, your father and I. I press the red button, ending the call for the first time in my life. The silence that follows feels like stepping into sunlight after years in a dim room. My phone immediately starts ringing again, but a different kind of notification catches my attention, an email from Mitchell with the subject line Harper's complete pitch deck. I open it to find Harper's entire investment proposal, professionally designed and featuring my name prominently as silent partner and financial guarantor on slide 3. The financial section includes projections based on an initial investment of $85,000, far more than the $18,500 she initially requested from me. A text from Thomas arrives. I've drafted an email to everyone in the industry clarifying your non-involvement. Just say the word and I'll send it. Rebecca, my cybersecurity mentor from my early career, calls with practical advice, document everything for legal purposes. What she's doing crosses several lines in Texas identity theft statutes. The contrast is stark. My professional network believes the evidence before them while my family clings to emotional narratives that excuse Harper's behavior regardless of facts. The next morning I contact a lawyer specializing in identity theft and fraud. Our conversation is brief but illuminating. Based on what you've described, you have grounds for serious legal action, she tells me. Unauthorized use of your identity for financial gain constitutes fraud. The forged communications in your name to business contacts adds another layer of liability. What Harper doesn't know, what my family never bothered to learn, is that my work laptop had advanced security logging that recorded every access attempt, every file transfer, every keystroke. The evidence isn't just circumstantial, it's comprehensive and irrefutable. As my phone displays one for missed calls from my parents, I open my email and begin drafting a cease and desist letter. The anger that has been building inside me doesn't explode outward. Instead, it crystallizes into something harder, clearer, and infinitely more powerful: resolve. A week later I wake before dawn, my mind cycling through each component of my plan. The laptop's destruction was just the beginning. Harper's digital fingerprints are everywhere, and today, I'll make them visible to everyone who matters. My lawyer's cease and desist letter sits ready in my email drafts, itemizing 17 separate unauthorized actions. The bank transfer attempt, credit card fraud, forged emails to clients, and the laptop destruction that started it all. Each violation documented with timestamps, screenshots, and security logs that Harper never knew existed. Are you certain about this? My lawyer had asked yesterday. Family situations can be complicated. Family complications became criminal fraud the moment she attempted identity theft. I'd replied, my voice steadier than I expected. I press send, copying Harper, both parents, and her business partner. The email leaves my outbox with a soft whoosh that feels like the first exhale after holding my breath for years. The professional correction comes next, a carefully worded email to every investor, client, and industry contact in my network. No emotional language, just facts. I am not involved with Harper's beauty venture, have never been a silent partner, and any documents suggesting otherwise were created without my knowledge or consent. By 7:30 my phone buzzes with the first response. Mitchell. Message received. Already contacted 3 investors who were considering Harper's pitch. They've withdrawn interest. I pour myself coffee, hands steady as I compile the final piece, the evidence package. Bank statements with highlighted unauthorized access attempts. Credit applications with forged signatures. Emails sent from accounts created in my name. The laptop security logs showing Harper copying files before the accident. My phone erupts with notifications before I finish my first cup. Harper's text messages cascade down my screen like digital hail. How dare you send that letter? I'm your sister. You're destroying everything I've worked for. You're overreacting about the stupid laptop. It was just sitting there by the pool. I screenshot each message, particularly the last one, an inadvertent admission of deliberate destruction, not the accident she claimed to our parents. Dad's name appears on my screen next. I answer, placing the call on speaker while I continue organizing evidence. This is completely unnecessary, Violet. He begins, voice tight with controlled anger. Your mother is upset. Harper is devastated. Did you read the documentation I attached? I asked calmly. Yes, but these are just misunderstandings that could be resolved without. So you've seen the evidence of identity theft and fraud, I say, noting his admission for later. And you still think I'm overreacting? The silence stretches between us before he sighs. You need to retract that legal notice. Family matters should stay within the family. This stopped being just a family matter when Harper committed crimes, Dad. After he hangs up, I receive an alert from my bank's security system. Someone Harper has attempted to access my accounts again, triggering the additional safeguards I'd put in place. Another piece of evidence documenting her ongoing attempts. My email chimes with a message from an unfamiliar address. Harper's business partner James Whitfield requesting a meeting. After reviewing your evidence, I'm withdrawing from the venture effective immediately. I had no idea about these unauthorized actions and want to distance myself from any potential liability. Every frantic attempt Harper makes to salvage her situation only strengthens my case. Each call, text, and access attempt creates a clearer picture of deliberate, systematic fraud. When Mitchell calls again that afternoon, I'm reviewing the final documents my lawyer has prepared for the credit bureaus. Harper's desperate, he says. She's approaching every investor in Dallas looking for alternative funding now that her original backers have pulled out. I pause, fingers hovering above my keyboard. Should I let the situation resolve itself naturally now that her funding is collapsing? Or should I ensure every potential investor knows exactly what they're getting into with Harper? Complete professional protection would mean burning the last bridge with my family. Violet, you still there? Mitchell asks, just thinking. I reply softly. While I consider my next move, my support network continues building the protective wall around me. My lawyer submits formal documentation to all 3 credit bureaus establishing the identity theft case. Professional colleagues post endorsements of my skills and integrity on industry platforms, creating a digital shield against Harper's claims. Mitchell discreetly informs other investment firms about the fraudulent claims in Harper's proposal. Thomas, my longest-standing client, sends a company-wide email praising my security work and renewing our contract with expanded services. By evening, the impact is undeniable. Harper's business venture has collapsed entirely as financing and partnerships dissolve one by one. A LinkedIn notification shows James Whitfield has publicly announced his departure from the beauty product line, citing irreconcilable differences in business ethics. My mother's voicemail arrives just after dinner, her tone noticeably different from yesterday's righteous indignation. Violet, honey, I think we may have misunderstood some things. Can we talk when you have a moment? Dad's text follows minutes later. We should meet to discuss things rationally. There are perspectives you might not have considered. The final message arrives just before midnight from both parents. Harper has been asked to move out by the end of the week. We've reviewed everything. We need to talk. I stand at my apartment window looking out at the Dallas skyline glittering against the night sky. For the first time since finding my laptop in the pool, I feel the knot in my chest begin to loosen. Not because I wanted Harper to lose her home or her business, but because for once actions have consequences. Even for Harper. The evidence spoke when my voice alone never could. Next day, I hear the knock at my apartment door. 3 tentative taps that would have once sent me rushing to answer. Now I check the peephole first. Harper stands in the hallway, her shoulders hunched, clutching a shoebox to her chest. When I open the door, her eyes are red-rimmed, tear tracks still visible on her cheeks. The sight would have melted my resolve a month ago. Vi, please, she says, her voice catching. Can we talk? I step aside silently, letting her enter my space. She takes in my apartment with darting glances as if searching for evidence of what I might know. Harper places the shoebox on my coffee table. I found these when I was cleaning my closet. She removes the lid, revealing childhood photographs, friendship bracelets we made at summer camp, notes passed in high school. Remember this? We were inseparable once. I don't touch the box. What do you want, Harper? I came to apologize. She draws a shaky breath. The laptop. I shouldn't have done that. Just the laptop. She ignores my question. We're sisters, Violet. That means something. It has to. I wait watching her fidget with the frayed edge of a photograph. I've been thinking. She continues. If you withdraw those communications to the investors, I can pay you back what I can afford. We can work something out. That's your compromise? Mom and Dad are heartbroken that you've chosen your job over family. Harper's voice hardened slightly. They raised us to stick together. Is that what this is about? Family loyalty. I'm trying to fix things before they get worse. Her eyes narrow. Things could get difficult for everyone if you keep pushing this. I reach for my phone, tap the screen a few times, and place it on the table between us. Harper's voice fills the room. What you made me do. When family asks for help, Violet, family should help. The recording continues with Harper's admission about the laptop. Her face drains of color. You recorded me. I pull a folder from my desk drawer and place it beside the phone. Bank transfer attempts, credit card applications in my name, forged emails to my clients. Harper's eyes widen as I open the folder. I signed a new international contract yesterday. I say double my previous rate, expanded security protocols. My reputation recovered nicely once I explained I was the victim of identity theft. Identity theft? She laughs nervously. That's dramatic even for you. The police don't think so. I slide another document toward her. I've filed a formal report. Whether I press charges is still undecided. You wouldn't. I'm not choosing my job over family, Harper. I'm choosing myself over enabling you. Her laugh holds no humor. Always so self-righteous. You think you have me cornered with a few printouts. I push the evidence folder across the coffee table until it touches her fingertips. The comprehensive documentation lies between us. Screenshots of unauthorized account access attempts. Time-stamped records of every action she's taken against me. Statements from professional colleagues about her impersonation attempts. Harper reaches for the papers, her mouth twisting into a dismissive smile that falters when she sees the detailed timeline of her actions arranged chronologically, cross-referenced with bank records and digital timestamps. She grabs at the folder. Give me those. I place my hand firmly on top of the papers. Copies have been filed with my lawyer and the police and the credit bureaus. The color drains from her face. You're bluffing. You know I'm not. Harper stands abruptly, pacing my living room. This isn't fair. One mistake with your stupid laptop and you're ready to destroy my life. You tried to steal my identity. You forged my signature. You impersonated me to my clients. My voice remains steady. These aren't mistakes, Harper. They're choices. They're choices. Mom and Dad will never forgive you for this. I'm not looking for forgiveness. Harper tries another approach, tears welling in her eyes. Please, Vi. If this gets out, I'll never recover. No one will invest in anything I do again. Actions have consequences. It was just a laptop. Her voice rises. Number, I stand now to my calm, unshaken by her outburst. I've spent my life watching you break things and walk away. Not this time. Harper grabs her purse, abandoning the childhood mementos on my table. I agree. I open my door. That's exactly what I'm doing. The door closes behind her with a quiet click. I sink onto my couch, exhaling slowly. That evening my phone vibrated with a text from my father. Harper moved her things out this afternoon. Your mother and I have reviewed everything. We need to talk. Minutes later, Mitchell calls. Thought you should know, words getting around. No investor in Dallas will touch anything with Harper's name on it now. I thank him and end the call, staring at the shoebox of memories. Harper and I smiling in photographs, two sisters before the pattern of betrayal and forgiveness became our only connection. My laptop chimes with an email notification. My international client has renewed their contract with an increased security budget. The message includes a personal note. Your handling of recent security challenges demonstrates exactly why we value your expertise. I close the shoebox, my fingers lingering briefly on the lid before I slide it away. 6 months later, I adjust my webcam angle and scan the faces on my monitor. 8 people from 3 countries wait for my direction. Their attention focused solely on me. A notification slides onto my screen: client report approved, and I allow myself a small smile. The vulnerability assessment flagged 3 critical access points. I say, pointing to the highlighted sections of our shared document, I recommend implementing the security protocol we discussed last week. The lead developer nods. We trust your judgment, Violet. Trust. A small word that carries the weight of my rebuilt professional reputation. I glance at my phone. Notifications silenced during client meetings, a boundary I never would have set 6 months ago. My gaze drifts to my expanded home office, where family photos once cluttered my desk, professional awards and travel souvenirs now stand in their place. The corner of my computer screen displays my calendar reminder. Cybersecurity Conference Keynote: Identity Protection in Family Fraud Cases. When the meeting concludes, I stretch and walk to my kitchen for coffee. The familiar chime of my phone breaks the silence. Mother's name and photo appear on the screen. Same situation, different person. 6 months ago, I would have scrambled to answer, heart racing with anxiety over what crisis Harper had manufactured. Today I calmly press decline and continue pouring my coffee. No guilt follows, just the quiet certainty that my time belongs to me. Later I listen to her voicemail while reviewing client proposals. Her voice sounds different, hesitant, respectful. Violet, I was wondering if you might have time for coffee next week. Just the 2 of us. Call when you can. I draft a brief text. Available Tuesday at 2 p.m. Bluestone Cafe on Henderson. Then add 45 minutes only. Have client meeting after. Boundaries clearly marked. Invitation accepted on my terms. That evening, Mitchell raises his glass across the dinner table at Martinelli's. To the new contract, he says as Rebecca and Thomas lift their glasses. To friends who see clearly when family can't, I respond, clinking glasses with each of them. The warm glow of the restaurant lights catches in my wine glass, casting amber reflections on the table. Thomas leans forward. Heard anything about Harper? Mitchell sets down his fork. My colleague in Phoenix mentioned she's trying to start fresh there. Seems she's actually taken some responsibility for what happened. I nod, surprised to feel nothing but mild curiosity at the mention of her name. 2 weeks later, I check into the Westbrook Hotel for the cybersecurity conference. The desk clerk looks at my name, then up at me. Miss Winters. Several attendees have asked when you're arriving. Your keynote is generating quite a buzz. In the elevator, my phone vibrates with an email notification. A publishing company is interested in my proposal for a guide on personal security and boundary protection. The doors slide open to reveal the gleaming lobby. I catch my reflection in the mirrored wall, shoulders back, gaze steady. No looking back. My phone chimes with a text from my mother confirming our coffee meeting. I respond with a simple "see you then." As I prepare my keynote on protecting digital boundaries, I wonder if maintaining distance from family is still necessary, or if controlled reconnection is possible. Is it wiser to keep emotional barriers firmly in place when someone has betrayed you? Or can selective bridges be rebuilt without risking another collapse? The woman in the mirror looks back at me, eyes clear and knowing. Whatever I decide, the choice is finally completely mine.